Hi friends and good morning. 43 minutes after the hour, a shocking report released this week reveals the Phoenix VA turned away suicidal veterans. So how much worse does it have to get before something is done to help? Here to weigh in is Legislative and Political Director for Concerned Veterans for America, Dan Caldwell. Dan, thanks for your time today.
Thank you for having me on this morning.
Now, you've lived in Arizona and you've had some firsthand experience with this. Tell us about this most recent bombshell report that was just released.
Well, if there weren't already enough problems with the Phoenix VA, a whistleblower by the name of Brandon Coleman, a fellow Marine who I've actually gotten to know, he ran the suicide clinic, one of the mental health clinics at the Phoenix VA, and he's been bringing forward information for the last year or so that the Phoenix VA mental health unit had been turning away suicide veterans from care at the Phoenix VA. And unfortunately, in the past, when we've seen this at other VA hospitals, this has led to veterans going and unfortunately taking their own lives. And it's absolutely disgusting, considering the fact that the VA spends upwards of $7 billion a year on mental health, and they still can't get this right.
It's just unbelievable to have some of our heroes who have fought for our freedoms on the battlefield. Then they come home, they go to the hospital, and they say, I'm thinking about taking my life. And they're refused care and just walk out. I mean, it's almost not even believable. You also are really rallying for the VA Accountability Act, which would make it easier to fire bad VA employees. And there's someone at this particular hospital, the hospital chief of staff, Darren Deering, that you are pointing your finger at this morning. Why?
This is the guy who sat next to Sharon Hellman, the fired Phoenix VA hospital director, who was basically created the secret wait list at the Phoenix VA, that they created the environment for that to happen. And for 2 years, even though they knew that he was involved in these wait lists, he was allowed to remain in his job, the chief of staff job, which is a critical job. And only now are they proposing to fire him. And that's the key word, proposing to fire him. He could still resign, retire, and get away with it, or sit on paid administrative leave for up to 700 days while they do another investigation, collecting $250,000 in salary.
Wow.
Yes, it's absolutely ridiculous, and that is why we need laws like the VA Accountability Act, which will make it a lot easier to fire employees like Darren Deering.
So what's the status right now, and what's the holdup?
Well, it's passed on a bipartisan basis in the House of Representatives. Mitch McConnell has refused to bring it up for a full vote in the Senate. We hope he does. We understand that Senator Isaacson and some other senators are putting together a package, and we hope that it includes the VA Accountability Act, and we hope they move on this critical piece of legislation that it is quite clear that we actually need it.
All right. Dan, thank you so much. Dan Caldwell, Legislative and Political Director for Concerned Veterans for America. Thanks for bringing it to our attention as well. And we did reach out to the VA for comment, and they did not respond.